Daddy eats lots. Daddy eats lots. Daddy eats lots. Munch, munch, munch.
Hello and welcome to Daddy Eats Last, where we discuss the challenges of being a man in modern society and whatever the hell that even means. I'm Kane, and joining me tonight are both Ryan and Maddie. Boys, how are you?
I'm good, mate.
We've got the
It's been a while since we've had all three.
Yeah, it has been a little while. Ryan, what's new in London town?
Not much. We get some more restrictions as of Monday. It's kind of just a bit of a balancing thing. We've got freedom, but we're losing a little bit, which is okay because the restrictions seem pretty fair and reasonable. But you know, we're getting a last little burst of summer into September here, so the sun's shining and there is a cricket game on today, which I'm excited about. I'll go and watch from socially distanced in a pub because you can't actually go and attend the match. But a little bit of sport, a little bit of sun. It's a good Sunday here in London.
Lovely. What about you, Maddie? How's Queensland?
Sunny Queensland. Yeah, it's good. We had a good weekend. We did a little athletics with the kids yesterday afternoon. Then we had Kim's mum, dad, and sister over for the games night last night. So that was a bit of fun. And today I just ticked a few boxes with a couple of things around the house. So all in all, pretty good.
Well, we're still in lockdown here in Melbourne, so I've done nothing. We went for a couple of walks yesterday. Actually, it literally rained from the moment I got up until the moment I went to bed. So it was an indoors day.
Oh.
An indoors day. No ability to do anything. But tomorrow, the playgrounds reopen here in Melbourne. So I'm sure parents all through Melbourne will just be teeming into the playgrounds, hopefully socially distancing with their masks on as they should be. But I can imagine the parks around Melbourne will be quite busy tomorrow, and I'll be taking the little fella out early doors so we can beat the rush, I think. It'll be fairly exciting for him. He's been on one playground in 6 months, so he'll be pretty pleased.
Wow, he will be chomping at the bit.
He will be. When I mention it, he will use that term. I am chomping at the bit to go to the playground. That is a term. That is a phrase that he uses. Chomping at the bit.
I really like that Simpsons episode where someone mentions there's donuts in the kitchen to Homer and or something, and he's disappeared like that. They're trying to, yeah.
Love it. Well, boys, tonight we're going to talk about appearances and, well, I guess the effort which we put into our appearances and whether that has changed over time and given different circumstances like, kids, marriage, when you're single. I guess not how your appearance have changed over time, but more about the effort you put into your appearance. So I don't know. I'm probably not the best one to start this one off, seeing I did cut my own hair around 5 weeks ago, giving myself an ISO haircut. So that probably maybe is a good indication of how much care I put into my appearance at the moment. But that is the function of being
pretty
in lockdown
sure you're
as well.
in tracksuit pants and a hoodie. Rocking it.
Rocking
the absolute leisure of work from home wear.
I did not own tracksuit pants 5 years ago. Now I've got about 4 pairs. So yeah, and we've had a kid in that time. So maybe that about wraps it up for this week on Daddy Eats Last. We put no effort in.
So in other words, you become a dad and it's just a downward spiral of less fucks given.
Yeah,
completely.
Exactly. The only effort I'm putting into is trying to avoid a dad bod. I'm probably not even doing that well at that. Where are you guys?
Sure, although the dad bod was pretty popular a few years ago. Like it got a positive. I remember like a couple of years ago, it was actually shown as like this positive thing and we should embrace it.
Yeah, I think Leonardo DiCaprio.
I thought it was a complete cop out, but you know.
Yeah, just eat your vegetables, guys. What about you two, Maddie, Ryan? Ryan, you still very smooth. You're smooth operator. You present very well. Like, do you expect that you'll just kind of slide into just not giving a fuck at some point, or you always be sort of on point?
Hopefully, always on point. Thank you. I like hearing that I'm a smooth operator. Although I will say, probably put more effort or thought in, say, maybe 10 years ago, 5-10 years ago. But I think that might have been just because maybe fashion styles changed a little bit and you can get away now with a lot more smart casual look. but I definitely have noticed during, I guess, even the work from home and the lockdown and that kind of thing, generally I've noticed just a little bit of a overall just slip, especially with guys, which I'm kind of leaning into a little bit, where you can grow that beard a little bit more, you can grow your hair out a little bit longer, a little bit less polished. But no, I do hope, I know it'll be tougher, I think, when I have kids and a bit older, but definitely do hope I'm still on point. And I think it's because like fashion is a genuine interest of mine. So I've spoken to a couple of friends and that before about this, and I go, well, I'm genuinely interested about it and I like it, and I spend time reading about it and exploring it and that kind of thing. I'm not the most fashionable person, but for most guys, I wouldn't say it's one of those standard interests. So I think that maybe helps keep me on point a bit.
I have a sad realization for you, mate. I used to run a fashion website, and I'm sitting here in tracksuit pants and a hoodie.
So maybe that won't keep me on point.
You need a bit more than that. You need a bit more than an interest.
What about since you met TK, Ryan, or got engaged? Have you noticed, or maybe TK can attest to this, whether or not you've dropped your levels of appearance?
Maybe. I would say yes, but not. It's kind of a bit weird. Like, I would say yes in terms of effort and that kind of thing, but I think it's gone with, because TK is very much into fashion and all that as well, and I think it has gone with an ability to lean much more into comfortable, smart, casual fashion, as opposed to maybe, you know, suit and tie and all those kind of things. And probably also things that we enjoy doing more is not as, I guess, maybe as fancy. So you don't, like, you kind of dress for what you do. So I'd say appearance, probably the technical answer is yes, but I guess it's whether, I would say the amount of effort and thought that I still put into it hasn't dropped. So I'd say it's just different. But and I'd say it's different because it maybe changed with some actual fashion trends that allowed me to lean into less polished stuff. So from the outside, maybe, but I don't think the effort's dropped, actually.
What are you, Manny? You've got a Mickey Mouse t-shirt on at the moment. I don't know if that's fashionable or not.
I do like it.
It could be pajamas, to be honest. Or is that a gummy bear? I can't even tell.
It is Mickey Mouse. I bought this in Hong Kong. We went to Disneyland. I thought I'd join the rest of them.
Oh, just an FYI out there, like, for anyone who's looking for a movie to watch with kids, I highly do not recommend the Gummy Bear movie. It is probably the worst film ever made. But just because your t-shirt looked a little bit like a gummy bear.
The Gummy Bear movie.
Yeah, no, it's awful. I didn't even watch it.
Awful.
I walked in and just walked back out when it was on with my little fella watching it.
Yeah, right. Thanks for the tip. Not to get that one. Look, I've definitely spiraled down since, well, probably since meeting Kim, maybe. I don't know. Kim likes to take credit of bringing me out of the tips in the hair phase and the sort of baggy jeans when we first sort of met. So I thought I looked great, but she obviously didn't. So she slowly worked a way to fix that. But for a long period there, of back when I was working at a corporate job and wearing the suit, you often find yourself reading the men's part of the Maya magazine, or you'd shoot down to Maya during lunchtime and you'd consciously go and just check out what the mannequins are wearing for a bit of fashion advice and things like that. But those days are so long gone. Like, I'll admit, I have nice clothes and I do enjoy going and buying something nice, but because working from home is literally, I'm at home with Kim, I really don't put in any effort whatsoever, even though we do have Kim's got some other employees who come to the office.
I was going to say, you don't just sit around in your birthday suit, do you?
No, but we do have one day where no one comes, so we just sort of call that.
Sit around in your birthday suit.
Okay, Wednesday, not our birthday suits, but mate, I'll rock into, like, for instance, this afternoon I was just working around the house and I was in my shitty shorts with some paint stains on them, and my working t-shirt, which I'll happily wear to Bunnings because it makes you look a bit more, tradie-esque.
Legit.
You got to look legit.
Yeah. Paint stains and dirty hands. Like, get the nods from the tradies. Like, you got a trade pass? I like hearing that because they must think I look like I should. And so I guess rocking the woolies looking like that, just a hobo. I just don't care. Maybe I should, but I don't know. Even go and pick up the kids from kinder. I don't wear my hobo clothes, but I don't wear anything, nice. I don't know. Appearance, I just don't care anymore. It's sad.
I think, yeah, like I like to think I'm still on point, but I think more for my own interest and desire, whereas I'd say like 5-10 years ago, or pre-TK and all that kind of thing, it was much more externally driven. So it was much more like, oh, I got to care what people think, or like if you're single or whatnot. Whereas now it's like what looks really good, but also makes me feel super comfortable. But when I've noticed that there's been a solid slip with work from home. And I saw this in a phase over here, like when we're in lockdown, people were rocking the hoodies left, right, and center. I'm always generally pretty smart, casually dressed anyway. So I was kind of okay, but I had to write down, like as a work from home strategy, be up and dressed by 8 a.m. And I remember before moving out and living with the other people that we were with, generally the other guy he went to an old fashioned, like shitty, still suit and tie, Monday to Friday type situation, no tie on casual Friday, kind of old university job, as an accountant. But he did not get out of his tracksuit pants and pajama shirt all day. And like it literally went into work from home and just no shit's given at all. Like none whatsoever. Whereas I was like, no, I've got to be dressed by 8 o'clock. But I've noticed now that like this is more our new way of working, because we've started to go back to the office, but you might go back like 1-2 days a week max type thing. So people are still working from home. I've noticed a lot of the guys have started to move from just a hoodie or tracksuit or whatever and not caring to maybe a polo shirt or a casual button-up shirt or a nice t-shirt. Like I have noticed it's trended back upwards a little bit now that we've realized that this isn't going anywhere and maybe we do need to care a little bit more. So I feel happy that I stayed on point the whole time. So I'm like, that's good. But I've definitely noticed a few people that I'm like, a month ago you were in a hoodie and now you're rocking like a little polo. And so, and even like the executives and that kind of thing, you can see them just even on the video calls all dressing up that little bit more. And yeah, so I do wonder, I can see like why you could spiral down. And I remember this one thing over Christmas that I caught up with friends of mine and they had a little kid and I had this nice shirt on and I was playing with the kid and sure enough, it just like threw up on me.
Oh yeah.
And it was a dark shirt as well. And I basically got told, when you're a parent, you'll learn not to wear dark because it'll stain really badly when they throw up and that. And I remember sitting there thinking, I was like I didn't mind because she was adorable, but I was like, I can completely see why I would just wear some pretty average clothes when I have a newborn.
When you've been
and it's throwing up on me all the time.
When you've been chucked on, crapped on, and pissed on by a kid, you kind of think, what's the point? What's the point of having a $50 t-shirt when I can have a $5 t-shirt? When it's you probably go through lots of clothes a day because of some kind of accident, or the kid flicks food at you when they're learning how to feed. So just all those sort of things. And you're just like, well, the wardrobe just changes and then it's too hard. Then your partner starts trying to offer to buy you clothes for your birthday and you just want to say, get stuffed. I'm just happy happy looking like a hobo. Like,
see, that's why maybe I think that I'll stay on point, because everyone's like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, I want money for clothes. They're like, but don't you want anything else? I'm like, no, if there's anything else that I want, I'll go and buy. But clothes, I try and restrict myself.
What a joy to buy for you are.
Yeah.
It's
I just
quite
want a
easy.
voucher.
Money,
Just a
money.
voucher,
gift
please, or
voucher.
cash.
And I'm even worse because I'm like, because even my mum will be like, so what clothes do you want, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, mum, a voucher. Because I'm like, I will pick the clothes. I just want the money to do it. So I'd be leaning into that, Kane. If my partner was like, I'll go buy you stuff, I'd be like, absolutely.
Nah,
That should
mate.
be a rule, shouldn't there?
5
Nobody
black,
buys clothes for other people.
yeah, 5 black t-shirts, 5 white t-shirts, couple pair of jeans, couple pair of shorts, couple of jumpers, done. And I do have suits and shirts which I haven't worn for pretty much a year now. So maybe I'll wear one tomorrow when the playgrounds are reopening here. I'll just dust off a suit and
love it.
some shoes and just run around the park in that.
Well, I think well, maybe actually, but I think I do remember a couple of days I worked from home and that where I had like properly put on a suit jacket and all those kind of things. With TK or somebody's been like, why have you done that? I'm like, because I just need to feel good about what I'm wearing. Like I just need to feel like I'm on point. And we got this virtual event at work on Wednesday. I think this might actually sum up probably that, yeah, people care maybe less if given the opportunity. And maybe those opportunities are like settling down, having a kid, working from home. So we've got this healthcare management award virtual event, like 170 people Wednesday. And I'm one of the lackeys that got suckered into being an MC for it. But it's cocktail and dress up attire. And when it went out, the amount of people that was exactly like that was like, I'm going to have to pull out a suit or dust off. Like I'm even a bit like, yeah, I'm going to have to dust off a suit that I haven't worn for 6 months or whatever. But then what followed, and this was I found interesting with a bunch of guys, was I don't actually know if I'm even going to fit in this anymore. Because I've just been rocking the hoodie and the tracksuit pants and all that kind of thing.
Is that the COVID spread or?
The COVID, yeah, exactly. The working from home and having too much Uber Eats. So I think that was a bit telling that, yeah, if given an opportunity, there's a fair few guys out there that will happily run with it and be like, nah, I don't have to care. But I do think when I have kids, I'm going to hang around in sports gear just a whole lot more because I won't care if that gets thrown up on.
Fair enough too. Activewear though, women love activewear. I can't understand the sitting around in activewear stuff. I can understand sitting around in shorts and a t-shirt or a t-shirt and maybe tracksuit pants. Activewear, is it just because we're just atomically different to females? It just never feels comfortable around the crotch, etc.
That is their active wear, isn't it?
I think you're thinking of different activewear though.
No. Active, the activewear. Everyone's, I walk down the street here with my mask on, and people are socially distancing, doing the 4 things they can do. The essential things like exercise, caregiving, shopping, and compassionate grounds. And the 5th unwritten rule is, because we're in Melbourne, get a coffee. And everyone's in the, lots of females are just in their activewear, just like a bit of lycra between them and the world. I personally don't find that comfortable.
Yeah, but like
I don't know, spandex.
I don't know. The definition for activewear is different for guys though. Like I got a pair of Lululemon chino pants that have like all this stretch in them, super comfy working from home. But for guys, like the definition of activewear is a running shirt, a pair of tracksuit pants, and a hoodie. Like that's considered activewear. It's just the quality of your tracksuit pants and hoodie differs. Just like, although I don't know how the quality of the spandex can differ, but you can buy some for 10 and you can buy some for 200, but apparently it does.
5%,
yeah.
5% polyester is 5% polyester, mate. It feels the same.
Yeah, but I don't think the definition of activewear is guys walking around in skins.
Oh, thank God.
Or bike shorts.
I know. So we have a lot of mammals down our way because we're in one of the bike routes around Melbourne, which is just at the moment everyone must live within 5 kilometres of us because everyone still seems to ride down here. And so we've got lots of mammals. So I see my fair share of lycra. It just does not look comfortable. Yeah,
no. I think for guys, it's like, believe it or not, Kane, you can get some very nice pair of tracksuit pants and hoodies that rock the guy activewear. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe you become a champion of that.
Yeah, maybe I just have to up my leisure wear. It's leisure wear now, isn't it? They're calling it. You have to up my leisure wear game.
Yeah, I think so. Makes for good working.
Well,
working from home gear, though.
you are the, as well as being our foreign correspondent, Ryan. You're also our fashion correspondent. So expect some sort of research on this and to report back to the team maybe next week.
Okay, I'll send you guys some examples of how you can up your activewear dad game, and maybe that's a new fashion line.
Dadwear.
Dadwear. Yeah.
Dadwear,
Trademarked
but
Daddy
dadwear
X.
that's like up market dadwear, and then we can just charge a shitload, like Lululemon or whatever, and happy days.
Yeah, for all listeners out there,
That domain name.
yeah, I was going to say, for all listeners out there, that's trademark pending to Daddy Eats Last. I think it's a pretty good place to wrap up this week. Remember to subscribe to Daddy Eats Last on iTunes if you haven't done already. And while you're there, please leave a review. Also, check out our leisure wear range online at daddyeatslast.com, where you can buy high-end leisure wear, which will put a hole in your wallet, but not your pants. Most of all, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode, or should I say serving, of Daddy Eats Last. How's that for a dad joke? Catch you next week.
Bye bye. Bye bye.